Hi guys, today we'll be installing a chassis brace on my Golf Mark 7R. This will work for any, well, it'll work for any Golf Mark 7s. I got mine chassis brace from OCDeuro down here in Queensland. What I'll be using today is a drill, a step drill bit. This brace does come with its own insert rivets. I got this off the guy as well. It's to clamp down on the rivets. You'll need a Stanley knife to cut the carpet, a marker just to mark where your drilling point is, and a measuring tool to center it. I've been told that to measure 30 mil from this mounting point here, which is where your seats clip into. So 30 mil down on both ends is what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to mark it up with a marker. Alright, so after I measured 30 mil down from the last point of here to the start of my brace, I just held it down with my foot, tried to center it as much as I could, and colored in the hole. So I colored in all 4 holes just with the marker, and it's just a marking point for me. Now I can take this off. And yeah, so see that little mark there? Probably hard to pick up on the camera, but I can just cut a little X with a Stanley knife. And okay, so just so we know, you do need to remove the trim. If we try to drill without removing the trim, you're just gonna miss it. This is gonna move and vibrate. So do try to stick your finger in there and pull out your carpet. And then, so that you can mark your bare metal for drilling. Otherwise, you're going to have a hard time. The way that I marked my bare metal is after measuring where it goes and cutting the little hole, I just opened up my marker and shoved it in the hole. That way I can just mark it right there and right there. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same with the other end, and I'll be right back. Okay, so learning as we go, hey? So we do have to remove this to get a straight hole. Otherwise, I realize I'll be drilling at an angle in the bottom here. So the bottom hole is going to be where that black dot, you can barely see where that black dot is next to that other hole. It's got to be 11 mil hole, so I'm trying to give myself some room so I can drill a straight hole. You want a straight hole, otherwise it's going to come out all crooked. So yeah, now that I removed all the trim, you just do this by pulling outwards. It's just clipped in. Just remember to tuck this stuff back in when you clip it back in, and you should be golden. I'm going to go ahead and drill my first 2 holes, see how that goes. Alright, so I drilled my first 2 top holes. So, and stick the nutsert in this one. Now I'm just drilled the second one. I'm doing my top ones first so that I can line it up and then work with the bottom. It does help a lot if you remove all the trim on your seats, but I really don't want to remove my seats, so I'm doing it this way. I just did a little cut there to reveal the metal. So now I'm gonna insert the nutsert in here, and then measure it up to the bottom holes and drill those out. The way I set up my nutsert, it's just a long nut, a long bolt with a long nut, washer, nutsert. So what I do is I stick it in, I hold this steady with the provided Allen key, and then I torque this outwards like I'm trying to remove the bolt. So I torque this part out, not this part, this part. And then that would, in theory, crush the nutsert here and stick it in. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So here we go. I just test fitted it, just loosely after sticking the rivets in. The riv nuts, I have not done the bottoms yet. So now I'm going to go ahead and mark these holes, so just to ensure that I got a good fit and I'm not drilling into anything, drilling in any unnecessary holes. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. Alright, so just did the bottom bolt of the top bolt. This would be so much easier if we removed the seats. However, here I am, already committed to doing without removing the seats, so I had to cut along here to access this, to be able to actually rivet it in. I don't mind this cut because it will just go sit back in the trim and behind the seat, so it's not like it's gonna affect anything. Yep, there's the top, there's the bottom. Now I have to do the other side. It is quite hard to rivet bolts in when you got all this shit in the way. So yes, it would be so much easier to remove the seats and all the trimming, but you can do it without doing it, which is what I'm going to do. Alright, I'm going to go do the other end. Alright guys, so it's the next day. It took a little longer than I expected. There's the chassis brace. I'm here at Lakeside. It might be a bit windy. So yeah, here's the chassis brace here. And see, mounted up all nicely. Yes, the seats do still fall backwards. They clip in. That's it down. So I'm here to get some action, eh? Just see how the chassis brake goes and how it handles and so on. I'll give you my feedback at the end of the day.
Alright, so onto the track. You wouldn't notice it straight away, especially not on a straight or anything, but when you do hit some corners under hard steering, you can feel it working. You just feel a little bit more planted, not by leaps and bounds, but it is a little bit. So I gained more confidence going into corners at a higher speed without the fear of spinning out or anything. Not that it's easy to spin out or go far at all. It's pretty hard actually. And I was able to carry my speed out of the corners a bit better. Like I could accelerate a little earlier when coming out of a corner, which might mean a split second, a split second advantage. Yes, quite good performer for what it is. Didn't take much time.
The best thing about this is you can take it on and off if you ever just don't want it on. But yeah, you can feel the difference. And for 300 bucks, it's not a bad mod. Adds a little bit of aesthetics. And yeah, it adds a bit of cornering power, which isn't too bad. Easy install. I only had troubles inserting the riv nuts because they just wouldn't bite. But I did get them on eventually, so not bad, not bad. Yeah, that's about it. If you are interested in purchasing one of these, I'll leave a link in the description, and I'll also leave links in descriptions for alternative ones that won't require you drilling in if you're into that, but they would cost you $1,000 or something. So yeah, that's about it.